Oh, jeez. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everybody on the West Coast. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Everybody else in between this great, big, beautiful country of ours. How the hell you doing? What do you know? What do you say? What's up? What's happening? Jesus. Holy shit. Hey, I made it. Oh, boy, I'm a mess. What's happening? Hey, I got a announcement to make. I opened up the server to Ukraine. They're in a war, and I checked to see if there's any licensing involved. And they apparently, a little while back, they abolished licensing. So I don't know if that's changed since then, but I have it open. I need somebody to that speaks fluent Ukraine. And what I'm going to try to do is reach out to them in Ukraine and give them the news. If they can't, you know, any news that they can get their hands on, I guess would be good. But so that's what I need. And there's two ways you can work it out. I wanted somebody in this area to come and do it live. But we don't have to do it that way. If you have somebody that's fluent in Ukrainian, you can read the news and email it to me. And I'll put it up. And all you have to do is, in the email, all you have to do is state what news story it is, so we can check it before we send it out. And I'm going to try to get a translator too, so there ain't no funny business going on. But I figure it's a good thing to do. I figured, is there any way that I could help? And I'm like, geez, you got a freaking internet radio station, dumbass. Why don't you do something with that? So that's what I figured I could do. So I put a post on Facebook and put a post on Twitter. The two biggest social media. So hopefully I'll hear back from somebody. For right now, I'm broadcasting music over there, so during a war, I don't know if they'd really want to hear any kind of music, but anyway, I'm cleaning up. I just race. I walked this morning too, so put me a little bit behind. I didn't struggle too bad, so. But really out of breath when I just like, you screw around. I was responding to some tweets on Twitter, and next thing I know, it's freaking noontime. So what's going on with this shit? Damn. What's happening in the news? Russia says, this shit itches. It can't. All the time. God. I don't know what it is. It's just, it's my left upper shoulder thing. I don't got a rash or nothing. It just itches. It's like it's got a nerve thing going on. It'll go away. Oh, well. See, now there's every people. Here's what I'd like to know. I watched it on television, the President's State of the Union address, and they said that Lauren Bonehead and MTG were heckling Biden, and I didn't hear it on when he was given the thing. Now I don't know, and I had it on CNN. watching, and there were no comments made during the thing. Now I don't know if ABC and stuff said anything about it or not, but and I did when he got to the point about talking about a dead relative because of the chemicals involved in Camp Lejeune, chemicals involved in that's me, Camp Lejeune, chemicals. Now they're talking about Afghanistan and Iraq burn pits. I got a picture of one too. Burn pit. Where did I put them at? Oh shit. Oh. I'll find it. I'll put it up tomorrow. But we were near burn pits too. So, but I didn't get any of the things. And amazingly, when I checked the email last night, right after his speech saying about they were going to expand it, I got a thing from the VA saying, "Hey, if you got these conditions and applied before and got turned down, reapply." So that's how fast it was. And so it's a lot of good things happening with his speech. I mean, he talked about with this COVID shit that if you go to the pharmacy and get tested and you're positive, you immediately get those pills, and he ordered 1 million of them, so he order more. I don't know what these people want from him. I don't understand it. I think he's doing as good a job as he can when you got assholes like Manchin and Cinema in the way, and then all them other Republican dickheads. Excuse my language, this is not a kid's show. Not a kid's show. So if you got rugrats, young crumb munchers running around, go put them for a nap. Get them the hell out of here. But yeah, I mean, like, he's doing as well as can be expected. He would have got a lot more done if he had two people. And that's the other thing. Before that, before he came out to speak, they were scanning all around and different people that were there. And here it was. Manchin was glad-handing and palling around with all the Republicans. So I imagine he's kind of like a pariah right now in the Democratic Party. So I didn't even see Cinema there. She needs to go get lost. You know when I'll be happy is when Bonehead and MTG is voted out and Trump is in jail. And all these other ones are kicked out of Congress for their involvement in January 6th. I don't want much. I just want it all. And, I try to do news and be kind of unbiased, and I don't, I guess I do talk a lot about the Republicans. But hey, you know what? You deserve it. I'm an equal opportunity basher. If somebody does something really bad, I'm going to let them have it. So that's one thing Republicans can't do. They're lockstep. They're a cult. They can't even say when one of theirs was bad. That's like no balls. And so yeah. Okay, Tony the Tiger 57 says vibing with someone who has the same goofy energy as you is so therapeutic. Amen to that, brother. Let's go ahead and get some Twitter news in here. I said everything I'm going to say. John Cooper wants to know, anyone else love Jen Psaki even more after she called out Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene for heckling President Biden during his State of the Union address. See that? I missed it. I'm going to have to YouTube it whenever I get off of here. What's this? All right, so, hey man, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I can't be sitting here not doing anything. Monty61, I stand with Ukraine, says the lessons learned through COVID and now this invasion is how important it is to be self-reliant as possible while still offering goods and services to other countries. The pain of inflation is not easy to deal with, but it won't last forever. So, all these news things are coming up. Okay, Monty also did set up a story here. And, oh boy. Yep, too bad. Can't read it. Uh-huh. Oh, boy. Okay, what? No. Okay, they're talking about, this is politics and stuff like that. Let's go over here for a minute until I find something good. Oh, listen to this, Reuters. Come on. Russia's space agency head says satellite hacking would justify war. This is a report. Roscosmos, head of Dmitry Ruzhin, denied media reports that Russian satellite control centers have already been hacked amid Moscow's invasion of Ukraine, while warning against any attempt to do so, Interfax news agency reported. Offlining the satellites of any country is actually a casus belli, a cause for war, Interfax quoted him as saying. Rogozin also said his agency wanted British-based tech firm OnWeb to provide guarantees that its satellites are not going to be used against Russia, Interfax said. Whoa, things are getting pretty hot here. So without these, Rogozin said Russia will cancel the planned March 4th launch of 36 OneWeb satellites from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. Hey man, it's Mangled news. What the fuck you want? You know what I mean? And I'm swearing a lot today. I'm sorry, but, you know, you got to get them kids out. Put your headphones on or something. Which Russia rents... Wait a minute. God, this is sick. Without these, Rogozin said Russia will cancel the planned March 4th launch of 36 OneWeb satellites from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, which Russia rents from Kazakhstan, without compensating OneWeb, the Russian news agency reported. What the hell is going on here? So, yep. Okay, oh, here you go. Russia. Okay, the Independent says Russia could refuse to launch UK satellites, head of space agency suggests. So that's another one. That's from the Independent. When was this done? March the 2nd. Okay, Russia will refuse to conduct an upcoming UK satellite launch unless it can be assured they are not used for military purposes, the head of the space agency said. Roscosmos, Russian space agency, is contracted to conduct the launch on behalf of OneWeb. The satellite firm, part owned by British government, is scheduled to happen from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on Friday, just what we said. But if OneWeb is not able to give guarantee that the satellites will not be used for military purposes on Friday evening, Russia's rocket will no longer conduct the launch, according to Roscosmos chief Dmitry Rogozin. There's Joe Gunter. Hey, I gotta send him that. Joe Gunter, senior writer, BBC World News, features investigation story email. Me and Joel Gunter. So, horrible conversation with the deputy mayor of Mariupol. Says residential areas heavily bombed, including his father's neighborhood. The situation is awful. We are near to a humanitarian catastrophe. We have been under more than 15 hours of continuous shelling without pause. One district of the city is nearly totally destroyed. We cannot count the number of victims, but we believe at least hundreds of people are dead. We cannot go in to retrieve the bodies. My father lives there. I cannot reach him. I do not know if he is alive or dead. The Russian forces are several kilometers away on all sides. The Ukrainian army is brave, and they will continue to defend the city, but Russia does not fight with their army. They just destroy districts. We believe in our Ukrainian army, but we are in a terrible situation. And that was from Joel Gunter. Jack OB1 is replying to Joel B. Gunter. We went into Iraq based on a rumor, yet we helplessly stand by and watch this catastrophe unfold. Think about that. Old Bush and his weapons of mass destruction. Now, is Iraq part of NATO? I don't know. We can look it up, but I'm not going to do it right now. Look it up for me, man. Look it up. Trinity Pearl says that was the Bush regime. Bush had a vendetta against Iraq because of the losses his father sustained years before. 9/11 was just an excuse for Bush Cheney to invade Iraq. Well, the other thing is, Cheney was involved with Halliburton, and they wanted that oil. So there you go. Perfect setup. Steffi says, when Yugoslavia, including my hometown, was bombed by NATO, civilian deaths and destruction of bridges and other non-military buildings were labeled as collateral damage. I stand for peace in Syria, Somalia, Ukraine, and the rest of the world. When was Yugoslavia bombed by NATO? I don't know. We have to look that up. Michelle wants to know, I'm not sure how long we could stand by, and I know all about the risk of World War III, but looking at the pictures and hearing the stories, I wonder that it has already happened. Well, yeah, I think so too. This is it, man. This is it. It's not World War III yet. You got to get another country involved. And I don't think the Chinese is ready yet. They want Taiwan, but I don't think they want it that bad yet. I mean, at least Taiwan didn't go in and say, hey, stay out of the way. We're taking over Taiwan. They didn't do any threats. There's a very interesting thread here on Twitter. It's Joel Gunter. Joel Gunter. Tim Mack, good morning from Ukraine and those waking up in the U.S. Kyiv remains in Ukrainian hands, and in fact, the flow of dramatic information about Russian advances appeared to have slowed. Reports are that Russia has turned up its bombardments on civilian areas across the country. So I'm going to talk to him. That's what I'm going to do. Tim Mack, NPR investigative correspondent, author of Misfire Inside the Downfall of NRA, covering politics. NPR is continuing to travel throughout Ukraine. There you go. The travel can be a little arduous, if only due to checkpoints, but we've seen an evolution of how checkpoints appear over the course of this last very dramatic week. Passing through Ukrainian countryside, I'm seeing fortified checkpoints everywhere. Heavy sandbags, concrete blocks, much more developed than we saw just a few days ago as the war was beginning. And more professional. No guns have been pointed at me. Guards are not as jumpy. Much like the emotions of the guards at checkpoints, the battle lines appear to be stabilizing, at least for now. Russian troops were stalled in their attempts to advance into central Kyiv, as they were yesterday morning. The checkpoint guards I'm seeing are men with a smattering of guns. Body armor appears to be sparse. The local territorial defense guys carry anything from AKs to double-barreled shotguns. Along the road, scenes of everyday life from before the war, men feeding chickens, a frozen go-kart racetrack, empty snow, covered fields punctuated by guys with guns. More destruction in Kharkiv, the site of heavy bombardments near the Russian border. This time a police internal affairs building was ablaze this morning. The bombardment of the television antenna in central Kyiv seems not to have had much effect. Many channels resumed broadcast last night. Spock's for owner of the tower told NPR. And by bombarding the tower built on a Holocaust memorial, the site where the Nazis killed 70 to 100,000 during World War II, Russia is further galvanizing the world against it. Bombing of Babin Yar has drawn condemnation from many outside Ukraine. Yad Vashem, sacred sites like Babin Yar must be protected. We continue to follow with grave concern the outrageous acts of aggression being perpetrated against civilian targets in Ukraine. See this from Israel's foreign minister, but notice one word he doesn't use in his condemnation: Russia. We condemn the attack on the Jewish cemetery near the memorial site commemorating the Holocaust of the Jews in Kyiv and the murder of the Jewish people in Babin Yar. We call for preserving and respecting the sanctity of the state. So he didn't condemn Russia. Okay, so, but still, Tim Mack goes on. However, the international isolation of Russia is really being felt in a practical way. Not just economic crisis that is brewing, but also connections severed. Okay? He's saying take a look at the flights, and they're all canceled. That's it. The curtain is closing. The only international flights left from Moscow and Baku, Istanbul, Dubai, and oh boy, I got to get this done. Clear that. I don't want to get. Tim Mack goes on. As we drove through Ukraine, I saw professional soldiers gathering with heavy trucks, preparing to step off. One soldier embracing what appeared to be his mother, who won't let go of him. He's smiling as to say, "That's enough, Mom," while his cigarette burns in his right hand. Tim Mack says, I have real concerns about a brewing humanitarian food crisis, even in places that have been relatively safe in West Ukraine. Imported food, such as baby food, will be hard. We'll expand on this in a story that will be all things considered this evening. Tim Mack goes on and says, aides to the Ukrainian Ministry of Internal Repairs says one of the 5 killed in the strikes on the TV tower in central Kyiv on the grounds of Babyn Yar was a journalist. Ifhin Sakharn of Kyiv Live. They haven't been able to identify the other 4 bodies. So that's the news from Ukraine right now, with Tim Mack, Timmak, if you want to follow him on Twitter. And he's the NPR investigative correspondent. See, now there's some people just don't get it. Now, there's a lady right after him replying to Tim Mack, good morning. And she has this image saying, I stand with Ukraine. And this person says, his name is Welcome Back, Dr. Trotter. What purpose does your tweet serve? Come, I hate to say it, but some people got a really tight ass. Get that butt plug out of your ass, bud. Come on. She's showing support by saying good morning. What the hell? What's the replies to this guy? All right, B.S. Smith. Or B. Smith, I'm sorry. The S was capitalized. That's why I said B.S. B. Smith. A public show of solidarity with a small, fragile democracy under an unprovoked and unilateral invasion by a much larger nuclear power. I also prefer democracy to autocracy. She says, what is your point? Was it simply to criticize solidarity between democracies in and of itself? He didn't reply. Democracies don't arrest political opponents, and they don't shut down opposition media. Both of what? Wait. See, oh no, Nancy Cooper's saying something bad here. Democracies don't arrest political opponents, and they don't shut down opposition media, both of which Ukraine has done. Well, they're in a war, you dumb shit. Damn. Sorry. I'll be chasing people off of Twitter, from listening but no. When you're, like I said, I'm an equal opportunity basher. You say something stupid, I'm going to tell you about it. Holy jeez. So welcome back, Dr. Trotter. Was he having a bad day or something? So, okay, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, let's go over here. Uh-oh. You got 30 seconds to deal with my ass. What the hell's going on here? Oh, boy. Let's do it local real quick. Daily Beast, 19 hours ago. Couple killed man who skipped line in Vegas grocery store, cops say. A dispute over a grocery store line led to shooting death of a 48-year-old man in Las Vegas last November, police allege. Patrick O'Neill was angry when Denai Levi, 22, skipped in front of him in a line at a convenience store after the two got into a verbal fight, and Levy apologized. An employee escorted O'Neill on, but not before he hurled an expletive at Levy. That's when police say Levy left the store and returned with her partner, Isaiah Levy, 21, who shot O'Neill in the store's parking lot. Isaiah allegedly told O'Neill that if he messed with his girlfriend, I'll shoot you again. Security video showed Levy trying to retrieve the bullet casing from the parking lot before fleeing cops said. And that's it. I'm done. So if you want to read that story, it's Daily Beast, March 1st, 2022, 4:42 p.m. So that's last year's story, or whatever. All right, hey, man, I got to say goodbye. You guys have a good day. Be careful. Don't get that Rona. And let me say goodbye to these people, and I'll say goodbye to you, okay? So that's just it. I had fun. Try to get that damn news out to Ukraine. So pretty soon. All right, be careful. Don't get that Rona. Be safe.